Hi guys, today we'll be doing a review, an unboxing and quick review of the Aerocool Lux Modular RGB 650 watt power supply. So here's the unit. So some of the most notable features: it's RGB addressable, 80 plus bronze, active PFC, modular, 13 lighting effects via the LED control button, 30% increased ventilation area, and RGB LED design. Okay, let's here we go. Connectors. So we got one 20 plus 4 pin, 12 volt 4 plus 4 pin, 2 PCIe 6 pins, PATA or IDE 3, SATA 5. Okay, let's open it up. So we have here safety reminders. Okay, let's set that aside. Receipt. Then we have power cable. Actually, here in our country, in the Philippines, they give out the 3-prong US type plugs. And here are your modular cables. We'll get into this later. This is the power supply. Yeah. Let's open this up. Pretty tough packaging here. So here we go. Now the difference with some of the most RGB type power supplies out there is that most of their RGB lighting is typically concentrated at the bottom fan area. Now most cases nowadays are like bottom mounted power supplies, so if you're gonna have RGB lighting on there, it's probably gonna just show up at the bottom or underside of the case, giving you an underglow effect. Now the thing I like about this power supply is the RGB lighting is at the side. So once you put this inside the case, this part, if you have that part where they show you there's a cutout for the power supply, some cases have that, and the one I got has that opening there. You can see the RGB lighting here. So we'll be testing this later. We'll be turning it on using a power supply tester like this thing, so we can test out the RGB. So going back, another main selling point of this thing is at the price point, you'd usually get a modular power supply with 80 plus gold type power supplies, and since this is an 80 plus, it's very rare to find one. Even though it's just semi-modular, it's still good to have a modular power supply, because like previously I had a 650 watt FSP, and doing cable management with all those sleeved cables inside was well, very difficult. So that's why I opted to get this. So since it's semi-modular, and you'd probably have your other cables that you actually just need, and these are flat, so it'd probably be easier to do cable management. And here you can see, oh, the camera's not focusing. Alright. Alright, we have socket for VGA, socket for peripherals. So here we have our 20+4 pin. We have our ATX 4 pin. Okay, and for the RS sync or the RGB lighting, this particular one actually uses a 5-volt 3-pin header. So that would depend on your motherboard if it's compatible. Like the Asus one I have uses a 4-pin 12-volt header, so I'm not sure if this is gonna work. I might have to find an adapter for it, but the most common ones I've seen so far are the 3-pin 5 volts. So let's see, and those are your cables. If you need more, you can attach the other cables that comes with it. Let's open it up. Let's see what other cables we have here. Alright, we have one for your IDEs and SATA cables. This one, GPU. And this one, more SATA cables. Alright. Let's try setting this up and see if we can turn it on and test out the RGB lighting. Let me just get it set up. Okay, got that plugged in. Get this thing turned on. So here we go. So the default setting, let's try pressing on the button here for the LED control. Okay, let's press it again. Again. Pretty neat. Let's press it again. Okay. And one of the modes here is that this is when it syncs with either rsync or, let's say, Gigabyte's own RGB lighting software. So I'm not really sure how that's gonna work, but we'll probably be trying it out later on. So this is probably it for this particular power supply. Okay, now the reason why I chose this power supply is that because on the tier list or list of power supplies that I've seen on the net, it's probably at the second to the last for the ones who are going to be using an integrated GPU. I'll be using a Ryzen 3400 on this thing, so it's down there way with the Strider series, the Thermaltake Light Power RGBs or Smart RGBs. Those were the ones I was looking at. The price point of this thing is probably somewhere around like a Corsair CV550. So here in the Philippines, it costs around 3,000 plus pesos. A bit higher compared to the Smart RGB. No, the Smart RGB at 650 watts would probably be the same, but the Strider Essentials at 750 would be cheaper. But again, at this price point, we have RGB and Aura Sync lighting. We have semi-modular capability as compared to only gold power supplies that you'll probably see those modular type features. So I'd say this is a good bang for the buck for a power supply, and it looks good. So there. If you like my video, click on like and subscribe, and